It's obvious what has just played out in the crypto markets in the past 12 hours or so. Yes, this move has completely shocked me. It's one of the biggest, most destructive moves I've seen across the crypto market in my last 6 years trading crypto. But it tells us something very obvious about what is going on behind the scenes, and it shows us exactly what we are likely to see play out in the very near term after these moves. If you are shaken, if you are worried, you don't know which way to turn, you're in the right place. I'm going to tell you exactly what I am doing right now with my trades, with my crypto portfolio, to be prepared for exactly what is about to play out next. It's probably something you're not expecting, so do me a favor, hit the like button, let's find out what's going on. Now guys, before we dive in and find out exactly what's been happening over the last 12 hours or so across the crypto markets and really understand exactly what is about to play out next and what all of this really means for us, just a quick disclaimer. Nothing I say in this video is financial advice. Everything I say is entertainment purposes only. If you wish to invest in crypto, you should understand that it's risky, which I'm sure by now that you probably do, and you can lose money. So don't risk money that you can't afford to lose, and always do your own research before investing in anything. And by the way, down below are some different links for exchanges and things that I personally use. They are affiliate links, therefore I will earn a small commission at no expense to you should you wish to sign up for those to gather bonuses, etc. But I'll talk about those slightly later on. Now that we got that out of the way, let's crack on with it. Now guys, I made a video just a couple of days ago telling you that there was games going on behind the scenes in crypto with the likes of Donald Trump, BlackRock, JP Morgan, the Wintermute market makers, Binance, etc., playing sorts of different games to confuse you as retail investors and make sure that you don't really know what's going on at any time so that they can make as much money as possible. However, I'm not going to pretend that I was expecting to see that dump that we saw over the last few hours or so, because that was effing massive. And I have only seen this happen probably once or two times in the past over my last 6 years in crypto. One was when Luna went under, and the other was when we saw an FTX crash. To be honest, these sort of things were happening in bear markets. I haven't seen anything quite as brutal and insane as this in a bull market that I can remember. And that tells us something very important, because this move has come at a very key time in the markets. Now I know, many people will be like, well, it's because of the tariffs. Well, that seems to be the case, right? Because Donald Trump said something about tariffs, and lo and behold, the entire crypto market nukes like you have never seen before. But notice how much bigger the dump is in this one compared to the last multiple times that we've seen tariff crashes. And I posted this tweet last night before the kind of catastrophic bleed that was when Bitcoin was around 118,000, before it even went down to 102 or whatever crazy number it got to, just saying that every single time we'd seen something around a Trump tariff announcement, effectively we'd seen a dump down in the market only to then see a significant move back towards the upside. Now, before this move even happened, various people, like Kyle Chase here, were noticing that significant whales were moving to make massive short trades on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some other large cap altcoins. Now, why would they be doing that, do you think? Well, because behind the scenes, there is a game plan. There's people knowing exactly what these moves are going to look like, the exact prices that certain coins are going to fall to, etc. Last night's move was effectively to sweep out completely all of the over-leverage and overly confident traders in the retail market. I told you that this is a game that they like to play. I didn't know it was going to be quite as brutal as it was, but it tells you something very significant about what happens next. The only reason they want to sweep everyone out of the market with massive fear and worry is because they want to move the market much higher, much quicker than many people think. And this is what we've seen happen time and time again. Here's another chart that shows you just how clearly this plays out. On top, you've got the volatility index of the S&P 500. This basically tells you every single time we see a massive scary news event hit the S&P, which is the US stock market, and basically representative kind of the health of global market, shall we say. Every single time you see this spike towards the upside, and I've taken the charts to kind of label these up over the past few years that we've seen these been playing out. We had the recent Trump tariff announcement, which came out in the last 24 hours or so. We had the big tariff announcement, which came out back on April the 7th. We can then see the next one that was like the Japan carry trade back on the 5th of August. And you can see these major spikes towards the upside pretty much correlate with major dumps, sell-offs in Bitcoin and other markets. And guess what? Every single time, these have marked the lows in the market, the absolute prime time to enter. This time, in my opinion, is absolutely no different. As you can see, 5th of August, Bitcoin dumps to around 50k, 49k. Yes, it has a little low beyond that, 52k, but from there, it goes all the way up to $108,000. If you got into the likes of Sui, etc., back on this date, you would have had an incredible run back in the last autumn. Then again, on the 8th of April, we saw a massive volatility spike around the tariffs. That tariff news was way bigger than the one we've just seen, in fact. Now what you can see is the price builds for Bitcoin from there. Again, not all altcoins, but Ethereum, Sui, Solana, a lot of the kind of major altcoins, if you've been getting into April lows, you would have been damn happy you did. I think this is the biggest gift that I could personally have had as a crypto bull, because ultimately we can see every single time we have this crazy volatility, we see crypto dips and then it rips. Okay, this is no different. We know that the economy right now is gearing up to have the final blow-off top phase of the 18.5-year housing market cycle, of which crypto is the biggest risk part of that. The risk assets will do well at the end of that phase. This time is no different. Why is it no different? Well, because institutions and everyone who control the media, control the markets, have been aping into crypto. They've been buying into crypto, in the Bitcoins, Ethereums, etc. I'm pretty confident that in the last 12 hours or so, they've probably been buying a lot, as have all their buddies, and they will continue to buy on every bit of fear and worry. Eventually, the people who control the markets and control the media will do what? They will send the market higher. How do you know that they can control the market and control the media? Well, just yesterday, Donald Trump opens his mouth about something to do with China, and the entire market nukes like you have never seen before. That would have been a preempted move. The market makers, etc., would have been aware of that news article dropping before it actually dropped. That's where you should know, okay? Next move eventually comes up. We will start to see that Trump tariff drama slowly dissipate, move away. And guess what? The market can move up as quickly as it came down, and that will create even more confusion and worry for many people. Why? Because many people out there right now are like, crypto's a scam. I don't want to touch it. I want to stay far away. That is exactly what the game plan was. That is exactly what has been achieved. So where should we be looking right now? Well, this is my crypto portfolio. I thought I'd share it with you today. My lovely planet up 2.7%, having an absolute stormer as a sort of smaller cap coin there. But obviously you can see the rest of them seeing a lot of pain. Now, My Lovely Planet, obviously a great project. I've talked about it a lot before. Why has it not seen such volatility perhaps as others? Well, potentially strong community, good market making, etc. And lots of kind of developments and exciting things going on with My Lovely Planet. But also a lot of these other projects exist on perhaps bigger exchanges. The Binances, the OKXs, the kind of the major exchanges that have the ability to swing the needle around in price in any way they want. They can decide what price it's going to be today, tomorrow, you name it. Okay, they've ripped the price towards the downside to liquidate everyone who's over leveraged, create massive panic, and then what do? They rip the price back in the other direction, leaving all the people who are over leveraged completely out the market, completely high and dry, which is sad. Obviously, I know people use leverage, and if you are using leverage, this is an important note to not go over leveraged, always remain low leverage, and also to make sure you're using stop losses. There are effective ways to trade safely, and if you were trading this and you lost some money, I was also trading this and I lost some money, but fortunately I used a stop loss, so I only lost this much money rather than all of the money. I appreciate it's a painful lesson to learn. We all have to learn this lesson at some point, but you can trade effectively. So learn the lessons from things that have happened over the past 12 hours or so. Okay, this does happen from time to time in crypto. It's very rare, but clearly you get the message. Now, a lot of these coins that I'm looking at here, I've seen take a big hit. So what I wanted to do in terms of where I was looking to position myself, being very aware of what really happens after these major dips happen in crypto, I've been basically going through the charts last night, looking for the reaction from a number of different coins. And some of the coins saw very, very good reactions indeed, and have previously also demonstrated the ability to see good reactions. Sui, I cannot believe it, came all the way down to 0.58. That's an absolutely insane dump. Okay, but the fact that since the bottom it's come all the way back up 5x should give you an indication that this is a very good sign of strength. Okay, from me, that tells me with confidence that SUI from here isn't going to be going down into these levels again. I would be absolutely shocked if it did. Obviously, if you've been aware recently, anything can happen in crypto. But SUI from there looks very interesting, okay? This is a very good sign of strength. Now, I personally opened a couple of low leverage longs last night, down in and around this zone. Not quite at the bottom, sadly. I think I got in around $2 or like $2.40 something in and around this zone because it was under this area. I don't expect it really to be getting down below the lows of 2.35 again. Again, looking across the board, I saw Aether came down aggressively. What happened? You saw significant buyback. This is very indicative of projects that are going to show good strength as this bull market rides on. Who was buying up this as the market ripped down towards the downside? Think about how much money it would have required to go in and pump the price back up. This would have been market makers using lots of funding from these projects. These projects are well funded. They also got some serious backers. Aether, for example, digital asset treasury company backing $300 million worth of funds directed to buying back Aether tokens. Some of that obviously would have been going in last night and will continue to flow into this as time goes on. Aether recovering nicely. I look at WorldCoin again, a digital asset treasury company backing this. Horrible wick towards the downside last night, bringing it down to 0.26, which is now up since that moment, 269%. Guys, that is not what happens to coins that are going dead. Okay, these buybacks show you significant strength behind these projects. Okay, from me, these look like kind of the opportunities to go forward from here. There are others that have also seen extreme liquidations, extreme moves around. XRP, okay, massive market cap, absolutely bonkers move down here. Okay, you can see that it was basically trying to gear up people, showing everyone that we were going to have a bull flag here. You know, we even broke out for a bull flag. That's a perfect breakout, perfect structure. Okay, if you were to be someone who knows what happens in charts, any money tells you that that is time to go. Everything across the market yesterday was telling everyone it's time to go. This sell-off, people might have predicted, you know, we would have a bit of a sell-off. Maybe the altcoins might suffer a little bit against Bitcoin, but nobody out there predicted a sell-off of this magnitude was going to happen. Okay, this is ludicrous. Okay, and it was designed to be ludicrous to shake everyone out the market, make everyone panic. Because as soon as this happens, guess what? We start to move back higher. XRP, hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap, is now back up 100% from last night. Hundreds of billions of dollars, or tens of billions of dollars even, flooded into XRP last night. Where did that money come from? It didn't come from retail investors who were all literally shitting their pants last night. If you weren't, then you made a sterner stuff than me. It was hairy. All of us had a bit of a little Timmy come out last night and go, are we really in the right markets? This is crazy. But, you know, you can see straight away it starts to come back. Smart money gets in, lo and behold, market moves towards the upside. Everyone else then realizes, oh, that was just a fake out, but it's too late by that point. Others that had good moves from here, Beam, again, having a nice kind of low into its range. Again, digital asset treasury company getting involved in Beam. Looks interesting. Aptos, you name it. There are a lot of altcoins that look really good from here. I appreciate it's been painful. I appreciate many of you are not looking to get into the markets right now, or just looking to kind of hold and try and forget about crypto for the weekend. It's probably a good thing to do. If you don't do anything, sitting on your hands is probably one of the better moves, in my opinion, that you can do. Obviously, once you've done your own research, of course. Now, one thing that is important, as we see, Bitcoin dominance. Now, I know there were people out there, Benjamin Cowan, credit to him, who said that Bitcoin dominance would push up significantly against altcoins. Now, I don't know whether he's on the inside, but I don't think that maybe he would have also even predicted that the significance of that happening within pretty much a 10-minute window, okay? But fair enough, okay? It has spiked up. Lo and behold, it is now ripped back down, and it is ripping back down quite aggressively. Now this, as you can see, is a trend line that Bitcoin dominance has been riding up against since October 2022. Now, from a chart perspective, you can see that it's bounced up to retest this, also this previous kind of key area of support and resistance. Okay, you can see as well that last time Bitcoin dominance was about to break below this area was back in 2021, March 2021. From there, we saw a significant rip down in Bitcoin dominance. Now, because Bitcoin dominance potentially down to those lows, has another 30 or so % to drop. That is significant for altcoins. Bitcoin has a massive, massive crazy market cap, okay, in comparison to all the alts, which are an absolute fraction of it. When money flows out of Bitcoin into altcoins, things go crazy. Okay, things will go crazy. And the fact that we have just seen a massive destruction of altcoins should tell you that the altcoins will go crazy. We saw that destruction of key altcoins for a reason, so that smart money could get into altcoins. It's perfect, right? This should make you more excited than not. Even though right now, you're probably a lot poorer than you were yesterday. I definitely am, okay? But I'm pretty confident what we've seen before, when these kind of things happen, the recoveries are often swift. Walk away from it, have a weekend off, come back on Monday, and probably everything is going to be a lot better than it is right now. Guys, if you want to go and pick up any altcoins at discount, because there's big sales on across the markets, check out Bitunix, check out WEEX, link down below in the description. You can get into all the different altcoins I've personally been talking about. I've been traveling a lot. These exchanges do not require KYC, so I can access these wherever I am in the world without any issue. They also list a huge range of different altcoins. Obviously, depending on the country you're in, make sure you go check out the rules and regulations. But also, by using my link down below, you're going to be able to qualify for a significant bonus that you can then use to go and buy up different altcoins. Guys, hope you enjoyed that video, found it useful. Have a great weekend if you can. Try to relax, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you very soon in another one. Bye-bye.